In the winter of 1985, when the heavyweight division was starving for a monster, a 19-year-old kid from the nastiest block in Brooklyn walked into a boxing ring and did something nobody could explain. He knocked a grown man unconscious in under a minute. Then he did it again, and again, and again, until the entire sport stopped what it was doing and turned around to watch because something was happening that didn't make sense. A teenager was dismantling professional heavyweights like they owed him money, not outpointing them, not surviving them, erasing them in seconds, with a level of violence that made seasoned trainers go quiet and veteran fighters refuse to sign contracts. His name was Mike Tyson. He was 19 years old. He weighed 215 pounds of compressed fury, packed into a 5'10" frame that moved like something escaped from a cage. And what he did to the heavyweight division between 1985 and 1986 wasn't just impressive, it was terrifying. This is street fight science. And today, we're taking you back to the most destructive teenage year in the history of combat sports. When Iron Mike wasn't a brand or a meme or a nostalgic highlight reel. He was a wrecking ball with a pulse, and the entire boxing world was standing directly in his path.
3 weeks later, he was back. Atlantic City this time. A veteran named Michael Johnson stood across the ring, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else on the planet. Johnson outweighed Tyson by 23 pounds. Didn't matter. Tyson threw a left hook to the body that folded Johnson in half like a lawn chair. Then he straightened him back up with an uppercut and put him on the canvas with a right hand that landed flush on the temple. Johnson hit the mat so hard the ring shook. The referee counted, but everyone in the building knew it was over the moment the punch landed. A 19-year-old kid just knocked out a man who had 23 pounds on him with a single combination that took less than 4 seconds to throw. The commentators didn't even have time to finish their sentence before the fight was done. 12 days after his 19th birthday, Mike Tyson stepped into the ring in Birmingham, Michigan, against a man named Lorenzo Kennedy. Kennedy was unbeaten, had a decent jab, moved well, thought he had the tools to make it competitive. That delusion lasted about 30 seconds. From the opening bell, Tyson came forward like a man trying to walk through a wall. Kennedy threw a jab, and Tyson slipped it like it was moving in slow motion, then detonated a left hook that buckled Kennedy's legs and sent his mouthpiece flying into the third row. Kennedy grabbed the ropes. Tyson followed him. Another left hook, a right hand that landed so clean you could hear the impact over the crowd noise. Kennedy's eyes went blank. His legs folded. The referee jumped in, and it was over. 65 seconds. A professional fighter with an undefeated record just got deleted by a teenager at about the same time it takes to heat up leftovers. And Tyson walked back to his corner like nothing happened. 2 weeks later, Robert Collet showed up with 14 wins on his record and came sprinting out of his corner like a man with something to prove. That energy lasted exactly one punch. Tyson timed him with a left hook so perfectly placed it looked choreographed. Collet went stiff. His body locked up mid-stride, and he crashed face first into the canvas like someone pulled the plug on his nervous system. The knockout was even faster than the last one. Tyson was now beating his own records for destruction, each fight ending quicker than the one before, like he was in a competition with himself to see how fast he could end a human being's consciousness. 1 week later, Sterling Benjamin stepped in. Benjamin had just gone 7 rounds with Olympic gold medalist Tyrell Biggs, so he wasn't some random guy pulled off the street. He had credentials. He had experience. He had absolutely no answer for what Tyson did to him. Benjamin tried to hide behind his jab. Tyson walked through it like it wasn't there. First knockdown came from a right hand that landed behind the ear. Benjamin got up on shaky legs and tried to survive, but Tyson was already loading up the next shot. Second knockdown came from a left hook to the body, followed by a right uppercut that snapped Benjamin's head back so violently the crowd gasped. The referee stopped it, and Benjamin stood in his corner afterward looking like a man who just survived a car accident. When reporters asked him what Tyson hit like, he just shook his head and said, "It's the hardest I've ever been hit in my entire career." He wasn't being dramatic. He was being honest. 3 days after that fight, the only man who ever truly loved Mike Tyson died. Cus D'Amato, the trainer who found him, the father figure who raised him, the man who looked at a 13-year-old street criminal from Brownsville and saw a heavyweight champion of the world. Cus was gone, and the kid he left behind was 19 years old, with a heart full of grief and fists full of dynamite. 9 days later, Tyson channeled every ounce of that pain into a fight against Eddie Richardson. Richardson was 6'6", nearly a foot taller than Tyson. A massive man who looked like he belonged in the ring and Tyson didn't. From the opening second, Tyson fought like a man trying to beat his own grief to death. He threw punches with a savagery that went beyond competition. Every hook carried something personal. Every uppercut had Cus D'Amato's name written on it. Richardson went down so hard and so fast that the arena went silent. Not cheering, silent. Because what they just watched wasn't a boxing match. It was a young man pouring volcanic rage into another human being's skull. And then Tyson did something that showed you who he really was underneath all that fury. He helped Richardson up off the canvas, gently, like he was picking up a friend who tripped on the sidewalk. That's the thing about Tyson at 19. He wasn't just violent, he was complicated. A killer with a conscience. A destroyer who helped you up after he destroyed you. By December 1985, Tyson was running out of men willing to fight him. Sammy Scaff was a tough brawler from Kentucky with 13 knockouts. He walked into the Felt Forum in New York wearing the confidence of a man who genuinely believed he belonged in the same ring as Mike Tyson. 17 seconds into the fight, Tyson broke his nose with a single punch. From that point on, it was target practice. Blood pouring down Scaff's face. Tyson picking shots like a surgeon choosing which organ to remove first. Left hook to the body, right hand upstairs. Another left hook that bent Scaff sideways. The referee stopped it, and Scaff walked back to his corner, leaving a trail of blood on the canvas. And for the first time, Tyson wore the black trunks. No name on them, no logo, just black, like a uniform designed for war. Those trunks would become the most feared piece of clothing in boxing history. 2 days after Christmas, while the rest of the world was still full of turkey and wrapping paper, Tyson was back at the Coliseum, knocking out Mark Young, who actually came out swinging like he thought he had a chance. He didn't. January 1986 started with David Jocko hitting the canvas 3 times in under 2.5 minutes. Jocko had beaten an undefeated Razor Ruddock and shared the ring with future champions. He took the Tyson fight for $5,000 because he needed the money to feed his family. He earned every penny of that $5,000 in pain.
Mike Jamison was next, a crafty veteran with 17 wins who believed experience could neutralize youth. Jamison actually survived longer than most. He made it to the 5th round. But by then, Tyson had broken him down with body shots so vicious that Jamison's hands dropped lower with every round until his chin was sitting there unprotected like a target at a shooting range. Tyson finished him with a combination that came so fast the commentators couldn't keep up with the play-by-play. Then came Jesse Ferguson, and this was different. Ferguson had 14 wins and 10 knockouts. He'd outpointed Buster Douglas. He'd knocked out Reggie Gross. This was Tyson's first nationally televised fight, and the first time America would see up close whether the hype was real or manufactured. Ferguson was tough, genuinely tough. He survived rounds that would have ended other fighters. He grabbed, he clinched, he used every dirty trick in the book to slow Tyson down. But in the 6th round, Tyson threw an uppercut so violent it broke Ferguson's nose on impact. Blood exploded across both fighters. Ferguson's eyes filled with tears from the fracture. He couldn't see. He couldn't breathe. He grabbed Tyson and held on like a man hanging off the edge of a building. The referee finally stopped it, and the entire country sat in their living rooms, staring at their television screens, trying to process what they just witnessed. A 19-year-old kid just passed the biggest test of his career on national television and made it look like a formality.
Steve Zewski came next, a veteran from Massachusetts who had never been knocked off his feet in 34 professional fights. Tyson put him down in 3 rounds. Zewski called it the hardest he'd ever been hit by any human being. Tyson called it his worst performance ever. Think about that. A 3-round demolition of a man who'd never been dropped in his entire career, and Tyson considered it a bad night. That's the standard this kid was holding himself to at 19 years old. The final chapter of Tyson's teenage destruction came at Madison Square Garden against William Hosea, the mecca of boxing, the building where legends are made. Hosea actually caught Tyson clean with a left hook early in the fight. Tyson didn't blink, didn't step back, didn't even acknowledge it. He just came forward and went to work. Methodical, patient, then explosive. Hosea went down, and the teenage chapter of Mike Tyson's career was officially closed. 23 fights, 21 knockouts, all before his 20th birthday. A kid who grew up getting arrested on the streets of Brownsville. A kid who couldn't read until Cus D'Amato sat him down with books about boxing history. A kid who society had already written off as a lost cause. That kid walked into the heavyweight division at 19 years old and made the most dangerous men on the planet look like amateurs. He didn't just beat them, he traumatized them. He made grown men quit on their stools between rounds rather than come out and face him again. He made veterans with dozens of fights suddenly discover they had injuries that prevented them from competing. What Mike Tyson did at 19 wasn't just boxing, it was a statement. A declaration that the heavyweight division had a new owner and everyone else was just paying rent. The world watched a teenager become the most terrifying fighter alive, and the world was not ready for what came next. This is street fight science. Drop a comment telling me which version of Tyson was the most dangerous. Subscribe if this hit different. I'll see you in the next one.